Welcome back to another Throwback Thursday. I am a-hole Joanna Bronson, and I'm so excited to share with you guys my thoughts on a book called The Rainforest Mind by Paula Prober. Now, the reason I love this book right now is as a creative, I've had to change my mindset about things, the way I talk to myself and how I perceive who I am. And for a long time, as an artist, as a creator, I really thought that I was all over the place, scatterbrain. And, as you grow older and these things still keep happening to you, even though you're like, I'm going to focus, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I always find that I work better doing multiple things at the same time, like multiple projects. I get bored of one thing, I move to another, but then I can go back to it. And this book is great for creatives because it helped me understand that there are millions types of minds, and one of them is called a rainforest mind. And this specifically caters to creatives because it talks about how in the book it calls us gifted. It took me a long time to get around that word because I remember growing up with kids who were in gifted classes, and it was totally not what this book talks about. And it also shows how a rainforest mind basically is someone who has divergent thinking, someone who's not only thinking about one thing at a time, but is thinking about 10 things at a time. So like me feeling like my brain's in a universe at the same time is actually a thing. Like, I thought I was crazy. I thought I just couldn't stand still. I thought I couldn't just pay attention to one conversation that was happening, because what would happen is someone would say a word that linked to another word that linked to another word that came to this thought that came to this whole story, and then I would ask a question and the person's like, what are you talking about? Because I had already gone so fast forward into the conversation or on a thought about something completely different than what we were talking about. My mom tends to call it squirreling. She's like, because I'm just here and I'm there and I'm there, and just like doing a million things at a time or thinking a million things at a time. And sometimes it led to really high anxiety because I was overwhelmed by all these things that I wanted to do and these lists. Like, you guys have seen my lists and boards. Like, I have lists for days. And reading this book really helped me understand more about what that is and how it affects me. And I just found it gave me a whole new vocabulary so that I don't look at it as a negative. Like, it's just part of who I am, and I need to cater to those sides of me in a different way than I would be if I was a single focused person. And, in being an actor and in being an artist, you find that you stop making excuses for things that you typically do and realize that that's just a part of who you are. And you're just going to function differently. And that's completely fine. And if other people don't see that, if they misinterpret it as, because I don't think my mother ever meant anything negative by squirreling, she just realized that I was thinking very fastly about different things. But if you do run into somebody who's like, oh, you're all over the place, oh, you're a mess, oh, you're that, and you're like, no, I'm actually not a mess. I'm able to do more than one thing at a time. I'm able to create 6 films in a month versus the one that most people focus on at a time. I can do, 10 different projects at a time. So it comes with a lot of compassion for yourself, learning how to acclimate to who you are. Because I feel that growing up and not knowing who you are, which is, part of life, figuring it out, and I still am, I find that having vocabulary, having words, having someone give you a different perspective on it and is what this book does. It helps me, and I'm sure it'll help you, because you'll stop giving yourself all this negative talk about yourself. You'll start realizing that these are actually gifts and attributes and things that you utilize in a way that most people can't. And in the book it talks about that, how because being a person who can do multiple things and learn very quickly, I've always been a kind of person that if you give me a trade, I can learn it very quickly, very efficiently. I learn very quickly, and I think because of that, it makes me move faster between things. Like, oh, I'm an actor today, I'm a director tomorrow, I'm developing a company, oh, I'm going to open a charity. Like, I can jump to things so quickly that when something becomes hard for me, when like, for example, administration things, I can't focus on them. I get bored. I will do anything in my power to procrastinate those things so that when I have to do them, it's like, oh, it's in a hurry. I got to get it done in like before dawn, and I'm going to be up all night doing it. But for some reason, then I'm able to like get it done. But otherwise, I just procrastinate. completely. So, finding things that are hard for myself, and instead of realizing, like, oh, you know, obviously, I can't be good at everything. Obviously, there's going to be things that I enjoy doing and things that I don't enjoy doing, but finding a way not to give myself crap about it. And I think that's everyone in general. Um, and in this book, it talks about empathy and creativity and different ways of dealing with the divergent thinking, which is another word for squirreling. Um, and the way to deal with that anxiety and being overwhelmed, and the different ways it looks in kids and adults, and also looking for it in your kids because it's genetic, and also ways to help make it flourish so that you don't feel repressed, so that you don't feel like an outcast, and to really make it viewed as a talent, as a gift, as something that you can do every day and enjoy every day and create. So I find that it really helped me embrace my creative side and really not make excuses for myself anymore. So it's a very helpful book, guys, as a creative, as an artist, as an actor. I hope it's helpful to you. If this was helpful here at A-Hole Productions, we just hope that you'll share this video with your friends and let us know what you think. Comment questions below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great week, guys.